Hello, welcome to part 4, and I'm going to make this the last part, so the total 4 parts. I was going to have a lot, but it would have been just a lot of parts where it's just all about his obsession of Bishop and passage after passage, his obsession with the royal bishop. So I encourage you to purchase either this book or a book on the writing of Ignatius, and come to your own conclusion. Grab a highlighter and go through and highlight every time he mentions bishop and that area where he talks about it, and then ask yourself, is this normal? Is this the pattern we see with the Apostle Paul or any apostle? And just form your own conclusion, because I see a strange obsession here, and like I said, I could go on and on. I have no idea how many parts I would have had if I would just continue on going over all the passages where it was an obsession with the royal bishop. It's just not normal. And also talk about a lot about unity, and regardless whether it's true or not, it's just no regard for truth. Whether just focus on unity a lot in his writings, and that's another flag of possible trying to get control over people. Just focus on unity. So that way, if anybody's like, wait a minute, this isn't true. Oh, you're not focusing on unity. Get out of here, you divider, you kind of thing. And that's why I like, by the way, the YouTube channel called Truth Unites. I like that title. And the gentleman behind that, he's, what's his name? Gavin Ortlund. Dr. Gavin Ortlund. I think he is so fitting for that name, that title, because he comes across somebody who has a strong desire for truth and wants people to come to the knowledge of the truth, and that title of the channel is so fitting. But anyway, so continuing on here, so I'm just going to go straight to the last letter, and so the last of the 7 letters. And so here's the entire introduction, believe it or not. Ignatius, who is called Theophorus, now this is repeated in just about all the letters, supposedly, written by him. To Polycarp, bishop of the Smyrnians, or rather, who has his own bishop, God the Father, Lord Jesus Christ, wishes abundance of happiness. That's it. That's the introduction. I don't know about you, but it looks to me like, let's say Ignatius wrote this, and it's like he fell off the cliff, and then somebody else filled this in, and then that person fell off the cliff, and then another person filled this in. It's like, it doesn't go together, the point I'm trying to make. It's just supposed to be an introduction. It looks like it was something about 3 different people, and it just doesn't seem like it flowed together. It's like, what are you trying to say here? Are you high on drugs? Are you getting high off the word bishop? I mean, maybe he wrote this and he got so high off using the word bishop, he just went overboard and went off the edge of the building, or I don't know. It's just, I'm not trying to be. It's just something is wrong here at the point. All right, it's just, he has his own bishop, God the Father. Okay. Or isn't God like overseer of all of us? Don't we all have access to pray and to God? Aren't we all priests of God? That make him overseer of all of us? And I don't know. It's just, to me, this is a really strange introduction. But anyway, so he's writing to Polycarp. So keep that in mind. He's writing to one person, right? So then we get to chapter 6. Give heed, all of you, to the bishop. Okay, again, that obsession with bishop, so that God also may give heed to you. All of a sudden now, he's writing to a bunch of people. Wait a minute, I thought he was writing to Polycarp. My soul be for there that are submissive to the bishop. Okay, there he goes again. To the presbyters and to deacons, and may my portion be along within God. Okay, so wait a minute. So it starts off Polycarp. All of a sudden now it's like a group of people. Okay, I have no idea who that group of people is. Just following basic rule of grammar, it's missing. Yeah, it's missing. That suggests heavily this is a copy and paste. That this is just copied in and pasted in. Anyway, continuing on, it is right, O Polycarp, most blessed in God, to assemble a council most acceptable of God, and to elect whom you greatly love, know, be a man of activity, who may be designated a messenger of God. So we see here, Polycarp, is to pick a man to be a messenger of God, right? All right? And then we see in the very next chapter, I slew all by name, and in particular the wife of Epaphras, was too many vowels, with all her house and children. I slew Attalus, my beloved. Okay, wait a minute. I thought this was a letter to Polycarp. Okay. I slew him who shall be deemed worthy to go from you into Syria. Grace be with him forever, and with Polycarp who sends him. Okay, I pray for your happiness forever in our God, Jesus Christ, whom continue all of you. Okay, who is this referring to? Okay, it must be the husband and wife there. Okay, but how they all of a sudden come in the picture here? It's like it came from nowhere. And in the unity and under protection of God, I salute all my dear beloved. Farewell, all of you in the Lord. I thought Polycarp was to pick a messenger. Looks like Ignatius already picked one out for him. Okay. And I also thought the personal letter to Polycarp, not to also whoever I was referring to. So it's just really strange how it's to Polycarp and it ends with, I salute this, farewell to all you in the Lord. It's not even a farewell to the person it's written to. Do you see the problem here? It just looks like this is a cut and paste. Another problem I'm seeing, if it's true, if you watch my previous videos, parts 1, 2, and 3, if it's true that Ignatius was a part of the house of Israel, he would have died in AD 73, or he'd been gone by AD 73. Polycarp, in AD 73, he was born either AD 69 or AD 70. He had been only 3 or 4 years old at the time Ignatius died, or would have been gone. What is he doing writing to a 3 or 4-year-old? Call him a bishop and, yeah, so there's just a lot of problems with the point I'm trying to make. This looks like a cut and paste, and this strange obsession with the role of a bishop, and you do a worse studying bishop. It wasn't even around in the church at the time Ignatius was alive, would have been alive. The latest, according to history, he died the latest was 140 AD. That's the latest I've heard or read. If it's true that he part of Israel, he would not have lived past AD 73. There's just so many problems with this. But you're going to have to form your own conclusion, obviously. But yeah, I'm just stunned that how so many people read this stuff and they're not seeing any flags here. You don't even have to study theology to see there's a problem with this letter. It's just not normal to start off to one person and end with somebody completely different. And you start off with singular, and all of a sudden you're going plural here. Well, who's the plural? And you go back and follow basically the grammar in the previous chapter. There's nothing that it would be referring to. It just looks like it's a cut and paste or copy and paste. And I don't know. Anyway, so at this point, I tend to think Ignatius was actually a part of the house of Israel, and constant effort to destroy Jewish history. He probably came across this, decided, I'm going to use this, and modified it to fit his own agenda. And that explains the copy and paste, and it explains trying to make it look like that, trying to give him more credit, come across having more credibility by knowing Polycarp and then coming up with the story that Polycarp knew John, but yet when you read Polycarp's writing, there's no mention of John, so you missed that part. You would think that Polycarp would have said something about Apostle John, but there's nothing in his writings about that. So there's just so many problems with church history and church fathers. So how can this gentleman Kyle King, in part 1, I referenced the video. How can he come to such a different conclusion? Go back to here. So this video here, got to get to the advertisements. But how can people like Kyle Kent and people like him read the exact same thing and come to a completely different conclusion? So this is him right here, and then this gentleman just interviewing this Kyle. So they're both first names are Kyle. I think one thing that might explain it is the frame of mind a person's in as they're approaching the reading of church fathers. My theory is that this Kyle King guy, he kind of wanted unity, and we have to be careful about that. We can get unity by the based on truth. That's the problem, and this might be in his mind an easy way, and so it could be his mind playing tricks on him. And he mentions about all the church fathers unanimously agree in baptism regeneration. Now, do I believe that act of baptism in and of itself produces regeneration? No. But baptism and all that entails, including the mercy of God, then yes. Okay? So it depends on how you look at it. But anyway, so we read the same 7 books and come to 2 very different conclusions, and it is what it is, so but anyway, I encourage you to continue in your studies and work hard in your studies. And to me, in this world, if there's unity, it's probably there's something wrong. But only unity in truth, it really means something. And in this case, I do not consider Ignatius to be a source of truth. It appears to me Kyle King, he's leaning more on church fathers than the apostles for truth. That it appears to me he did not check the church fathers against the scripture like I have demonstrated to you. It appears to me he had not done that. And so it could be because he just really wants that unity. He's just tired of the division. Okay. Join the Roman Catholic Church then. If unity is that important to you. To me, yes, unity is important, but it has to be based on truth. And I look at church history, church fathers, I see a mess. And I think that's partly because Emperor Constantine trying to rewrite history because of his hunger for power and control. I see the writing of Ignatius is attempt by Constantine to do that. He's using the title bishop to try to get control over the Christians during that time. And very smart guy, very brilliant and very effective. It has fooled a lot of people. Like Mark Twain said, it's easier to fool people than convince them they have been fooled. And it happened to the best of us. So anyway, I'm going to stop rambling on. So anyway, I hope you continue to enjoy your studies. I hope these gentlemen enjoy their studies. But I cannot see myself converting to Roman Catholicism because of this. All right. Anyway, thank you very much, and you have a nice day.